Welcome back. Welcome back to the morning show here on Tobago Updates Television. And thank you so much for staying with us. We continue conversations this morning in studio and we switch gears. We speak with Assemblyman, former Assemblyman Denise Tsoiafatt-Angus, political leader of the IDA and former chairman of the Tobago Festivals Commission. This morning we're speaking about is the T.H.A destroying the National Carnival? Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
And what a topic, what a theme for the discussion this morning. We just spoke with Sergeant York there about, the traffic restrictions and how it's going to be managed in the Scarborough, Roxborough and Crown Point areas for Carnival for 2025. I know we're talking here about T.H.A destroying the National Carnival. And I'd really like to get your perspective on this and what planted the notion of that idea in your mind.
Well, I believe they are. Because when you look at the level of promotion that we saw for October, and it's almost absent in the space now. There's no excitement. There's no, you're not getting the buzz and the feel of Carnival, of the National Carnival in Tobago. And I would dare say that had it not been for our, I call them cultural warriors, because they have to fight, who went onto the national stage and created that excitement of winning. Apart from that, you're really not feeling that carnival spirit in Tobago. And I dare say that we have to thank those Calypsonians who are singing in the tents, and the tents that are going around to communities and singing, entertaining communities. Other than that, there's no carnival.
I think the reason, you mentioned the hype and the marketing that goes into October is absent for the National Carnival here in Tobago. But I think the creation of the October Carnival was because there wasn't much interest in the National Carnival here on the island. You see a lot of people migrating to Trinidad for the on-the-road part of the carnival in Trinidad. And I think that's why the October Carnival was introduced. But you still... there are events that take place on the island of Tobago, as you mentioned, the warriors who are
the cultural warriors
who are fighting, and you see like programs being implemented by the Division of Tourism. You see the roving, the Calypso. You see all of those things happening. Is it that you're saying that is not enough and there's more that could be done in your estimation? What are some of the things you think should remain or should return or should be included in the build up to the National Carnival in Tobago?
Well, let's look at it, and we're talking about, I like to talk about development of an industry rather than offshoot of events. And what we're seeing is the events that are happening, but you're not seeing the developmental thrust towards an industry. Supposedly, we have the youth pan activities today. Where was that advertised? I don't know who knows about it. It's happening down in Buku. Apart from me introducing that into the space and telling people go down and support the young people down there playing the pan, that has not been advertised. So a lot may be done, but they're not being advertised in a way such that they can be supported by the people who can afford to go to Trinidad. Yes? And the fact that the cultural warriors who made it to the national stage have zero support. They have not gotten support unless they go and beg and beseech. They have not gotten the support. So there's no acknowledgement of what it takes for a cultural artist to win to go to Trinidad, and what it takes in terms of cost to perform in a semi-final and then to win their way into a final and to perform in the finals. It takes a whole lot of money. because you have to purchase resources to look a certain way, to have your props to compete, to take your group down with you. It takes a lot, and they're not receiving the kind of support you would expect them to receive during this season. The the carnival tents that are around the communities, they have not been receiving any money. They're doing it out of their heart, hoping that at some point some crumbs may be thrown at them. But I'm telling you that the money they may even get towards the end cannot even pay these calypsonians to clear any debts that they have to produce a calypso, because you're talking about writing the calypso, you're talking about going into studio. That's upwards of $4,000-5,000, and then they come out and sing. So they're really coming out to sing for free, because whatever resources that they have used came into producing the music.
So is it that you're saying that the Tobago aspect of the National Carnival is not viable right now?
It better be viable, because it's this group of persons who are within the National Carnival arena that would be, improving an October Carnival if you allowed them to truly take part in that way. Because the competition is necessary for them to go to Trinidad and compete with their peers in a larger, fashion. That is important. And so we have to sit down with the stakeholders and look at both, events. Just the other night on our program, the Tobago Legislative Series we have every Thursday at 7:30 p.m., we had Dr. Keith Nurse. And one of the things he lamented about is the lack of data that we gather during this period that could inform us where we need to go in terms of identifying the dual carnivals in Tobago. He sees it as an opportunity for both of them, and not to kill off one and just have the other, to see how can you use one to be the true feeder program into the next one that defines the Tobago Carnival in October, not just as a carnival held in Tobago, but a true Tobago Carnival that creates a unique product and an offering to the world.
And when you say not just a carnival held in Tobago, a true Tobago Carnival, for you, what is your definition of a Tobago Carnival if you were to describe it?
You have to create something unique and that you offer to the people, and not just revelers looking the same, as if you take a picture in Tobago, you take a picture in Miami, you take a picture in Trinidad. You can't tell the difference unless you recognize somebody's face and you know where they were at that time. They all begin to look the same. How do we differentiate ourselves? And that has to come with a serious sit down with our stakeholders, our experts in the field, and really sit down and define something. We still have the opportunity to define it. And we need to see more presence from our local artists in the October Carnival. Apart from your fringe kind of events on the actual day, you actually don't see their presence in such a way that it defines the carnival. I mean, the music, I would hope that this October we get to hear verse on the soca and also Jubi, because they made it to Trinidad. But oftentimes all the other artists get powered out. So
there's a conversation to be had with the stakeholders to ensure, that the National Carnival is represented here on the island of Tobago. In terms of what is happening now, you're saying that you're not seeing that measure of representation and you're not seeing that measure of support that needs to be had to ensure that it is sustained?
Yes, correct. We're not seeing it at all. And from the mere fact that you have, right after, you have this rhythm and soul event. And people are feeling, because we've been getting the calls, people are feeling as if this administration cares nothing about its own. You have not invested in your own. Imagine to book, to even release those artists on any advertisement meant that they would have received monies already from the T.H.A. But we have a standard carnival that occurs during this period, and up to now, monies cannot be released to any of the stakeholders involved in the activities. I even understand that they are having challenges with service providers who are holding back because they feel that they've not been paid in close to a year. So why go out and give my stuff again and we have not been paid? So when you are spending obscene monies, $9.38 million, to an outside entity to host a show here, and your own persons who are going to be spending the money here afterwards, they cannot be paid and they're being told there's no money, there's something wrong. There's a huge disconnect with that. And I think if people felt that, okay, there's no show coming and you say there's no money, then we understand then. But people seeing money spending elsewhere, big money spending elsewhere, and their little money, they don't have access to it. So they feel punished in their own country.
All right. I mean, I respect your views where that is concerned, and I do hope that, we could continue to have the conversations in the space. I mean, any product, there's always room for improvement in any product, whether this is the October Carnival, the National Carnival, any event, any product at all, there's always room for improvements. I do hope that we consider the investments that have to be made to ensure the product is improved. And in closing, is there any other thing that you'd like to share with our viewers this morning?
Well, I certainly hope that we have a safe carnival. It is quite unfortunate. I just heard a little piece that the carnival will be interrupted by 8 o'clock for the cab star to come in and almost wanting the revelers to get off the street, which means the carnival essentially ends by 8 o'clock in Tobago. And so I don't know if there wasn't additional thought that could have been, gone into that, some innovative route that they could have created that would not have affected the end of the Tobago Carnival in Tobago by 8 p.m. On Tuesday. But despite that, let us look forward to having a safe and healthy carnival period. I am definitely going to Tuesday Calder Hall. That is the place to be on Tuesday morning. So I will see you all there on Tuesday morning.
Dr. Angus, Dr. Denise Tsoiafatt-Angus this morning, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, wishing all of you here a safe Carnival 2025 or whatever you are doing. Have good, clean fun and an invitation there to Calder Hall. You never might tell, you might see her there come Tuesday morning. Did you guess the photo of the day? Did you guess what the photo of the day was? Do you know where this photo was taken? Can you guess it? I am being told that this photo was taken at Turtle Beach. Yes, at Turtle Beach, this photo was taken, and I hope you were able to guess it. And we say thank you, of course, to Tobago Tours for submitting that photo of the day this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to go for a short break before we continue conversations in studio. Yes, we do have to go for a break. And up next, we have Mr. Dexter Sandy, the chairman of Iconic Mass, going to have conversation with you in studio this morning. As you are aware, we're talking all things Carnival 2025. So, of course, we're going to be talking about those things. And before we go for that break, we invite you to help us. Share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.